YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Watcher of Realms. We are back with another one. We are currently number 3 right now, which is kind of nice. We did just go against the guild that is currently number 4. And so that means we're going against Mad next, which is kind of cool. I know we've been prepping for it a little bit. It'll be definitely an interesting match, but let's just go ahead and get straight to the attacks and see how we did. I did go ahead and actually, I broke my streak, which I'm actually not happy about. I was before like on a 14 win or not 14, like a 12 win streak, and I broke it. So I'm definitely not the happiest about that. I suck. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. So this is going to be the first attack that we went ahead and did. Now this is obviously just a standard nightmare team, but this is with Anora, so it's a little bit kind of interesting, at least in choice, because typically you won't go ahead and see Anora in these nightmare teams. You're usually more likely to see like a Ymrit, for example, but I guess they just chose to go ahead and use Anora. So one of the things is this team is going to be really susceptible to just tank stacking, especially if we're able to just go ahead and fly over the team. So what we do is we go ahead and we drop a healer, right? The whole purpose of the healer is really just to go ahead and bait out that Wukong ult, also to bait out the Torador ult, and then also to bait out the Anora ult. So you should see kind of all of them trigger right about now. And then in a second here, Wukong's about to trigger. 3, there we go. Once that happens, that gives me the full clearance to go ahead and drop a legendary flyer. And I'm also probably going to drop the second one right about now. Now the reason for that is because this third section here, bam, healer. Now we're able to just go ahead and comfortably fly over it. The whole purpose is the healer is going to go ahead and start healing right about now. And then he's going to go ahead and keep this other flyer topped up relatively well enough to go ahead and deal with the Hatsit ult. Now Hatsit is in that Agel's Gaze, which is pretty standard. It's not a surprise, and all we're really looking for is at least one flyer to make it through perfectly. What we actually see here is both flyers are able to just kind of fly through here with no issues, and they're going to go ahead and take out the Hatsit in right about a second here. There we go. And that's perfect for us because Carnell is now down. With that, all we really need to worry about is just going ahead and surviving the Anora. Because truth be told, I'm not too concerned about the Wukong right now because we have 2 flyers already through, so we just need to get 1 unit through. So what we do is we just go ahead and start stacking the tanks. These are level 7 tanks, so they are going to receive less damage from Anora, which is one of the main factors for us. The next step is we're just going to wait for that natural 10 cost to go. I might even wait for 8 and just drop double tanks. And then the second I have the ability to, I'm just going to go ahead and drop double dogs. So from this, it looks like I just go ahead and wait for that full 10 cost. There we go. I guess I just dropped double dogs. Oh, I know why. The reason why is because I'm mainly just focused on killing the Wukong. So what happens here is, right, all these units are pushing through. They're putting pressure on Wukong. And he's right about to go ahead and die here. And then also, since Torador has no sustain, he's also just going to go ahead and go down. So we just go ahead and do the easy route of just running it down because there is no sustain. If we go ahead and take out the Wukong, it's a pretty simple win. So that's what we go ahead and do. And then the next team, did I win this one or lose this one? Let's see. I think I won this one. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. Yep, we won this one. All right, so this is another team. Or did I just do the same team? I think this is, yeah. Wait, let me go backwards. I want to just make super sure. Because if I did the same team twice, then I'm trolling. No, I guess they both run the same team. Interesting choice. In that case, there's not really a point because they probably did the exact same thing. I guess I'll just showcase it in case there's something like weird that happens with RNG. But I mean, whenever you see a team that goes down twice, because it's built the same way, it's a little bit concerning. Okay, here's the difference. This is like 13k BP higher. So what I imagine is I probably lose one of my flyers here. So let's go ahead and run it. So we're going to drop the healer first once Wukong gets the full ult. There we go. And we should see Wukong hit about full ult in a second here. And basically we do the exact same thing. So let's just kind of speed this up. Bam, all the ults are triggered right about now. Wukong goes ahead and ults. Perfect. We drop the flyer. Next flyer right about now. Wait for the cost. Healer. Perfect. Alright, now let's just go ahead and see, because it looks like they're in Shadow's Gaze instead of Idril's Gaze. So that's one change. And Hotsit does go ahead and absolutely murder the tank. The flyer. So that's one of the variations. So it looks like their team just did more damage. Based on the looks of it, which is obviously makes sense. It's 13k BP higher. Right? So basically, this kind of just showcases that the strategy does work. Even if there's more damage on the field. Because Hotsit goes ahead and dies right about now. There we go. And we pretty much do the exact same thing, right? The biggest difference was just this team just did more damage on the front end. And then we go ahead, and here's the variation. There we go. So I go ahead and drop the rare tanks just to go ahead and fill up the map a little bit more than how I did the previous. Also, this Wukong doesn't look like he's A5. Truth be told, because in the other team, this tank died. This team, this tank lived, right? So I'm inclined to believe that this is like an A4 Wukong or something like that. And it's probably like the Anora and the Hotsit that are the A5s or something like that. Either way, we go ahead and take out the Wukong, and we just let our dogs run through here, no issues. That's how we go ahead and win. So that extends the win streak to about like 12 or something like that. Yeah, I think it's like 12. And then we go ahead and we lose. So let's go ahead and kind of show why I lost. Honestly, there's a lot of things that I did wrong in that second run. In case this loss, it's like my internet. It's like, no. We're not letting you show how you lost. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to play this on like 3xp and just quickly explain it. So basically, here's like all the issues that went wrong. This is correct. Dropping the full, that's perfect. Reason being is we're trying to go ahead and proc all the ultimates, which we go ahead and do. Second thing, second full, perfect. Templar, perfect. Wait for 7 costs, other Templar, perfect. All this is correct. Here's where things go wrong. Right about now. This is where everything goes wrong. The reason being is because we dropped the healer way too early. Basically, this healer is supposed to go ahead and get dropped pretty much after Ymrit ults. That's where things go sour, because this healer is taking all this unnecessary damage. He's not even healing or giving any sustain, and so basically there's like no net gain. Wukong goes ahead and ults, takes down this tank, but there's pretty much like 0 net gain. Like if I drop the healer a little bit later, we'd basically be in the same position with a healer here, giving sustain to this tank, and all of these additional skeletons are getting sustain. And then this healer would also be stacking up and giving good sustain to all the units. So that's where things go a little bit sour. Really just dropping the healer one tick early, well not one tick, but like a little bit early in the rotation causes things to go just super south. And all this is great, like all this is looking perfect. The next thing that we should have done is just kind of waited on the double dogs, because Ymrit and Hotsit would have ulted around this point in time, and we would have still had 2 healers giving sustain. Like notice, this team is looking pretty good on the back end, but the front end is pretty much all dead. If we just waited on dropping our healer, it would have been a successful run. So don't do what I did. Even though this got really close and the units are kind of getting juggled through, yeah, don't do as I did, because that resulted in a defeat and it just ruined my win streak. So I'm not happy. But we have the ability to start up a new one because we went ahead and won the last 2. But we'll see how it goes against Mad next, right? So this is just a esoteric team with our lovely Ezreal. Now, whenever you go ahead and see Ezreal, it is such a blast, because Ezreal doesn't have the ability to really counter Chaos Shaman, because he does have a revive. The main thing though is Ezreal has the ability to just chunk out heals like nobody's business. So that is the threat. Truth be told, it really just comes down to how much damage can you go ahead and inflict. Now, one of the things that we go ahead and do is we drop the double flyers. Now, the reason for dropping the double flyers is because I really want to go ahead and put Cyrus as low as I can. And in my perfect world scenario, right, I'm able to go ahead and really just kill out the skeleton and bait all the ultimates out. And in the best world, the Flyers actually survive and just take out the back line. It doesn't happen, but it's okay. It's fine. The next thing is we go ahead and start setting up the Chaos Shaman run, which these are level 5 Shaman and level 10 Archers, so we're about to see some absolute burnage. So we go ahead and drop the Shaman. And perfectly, we have the timing to go ahead and drop the Rare Archers now. Bam. Now this is going to go ahead and buff them. Boom. They're buffed. And we're about to see a massacre in 3, 2, 1. Burning. Procs. Now. So watch this, right? Ezreal is trying his hardest. Ezreal goes ahead and gets the massive heal off on the Cyrus. Perfect timing. But it doesn't even matter. Cyrus is dead. And that is with Ezreal going ahead and just perfectly reviving him, basically. It doesn't matter. He just gets burned to the ground. And from there on out, it's a pretty simple run because we do have Maw. And so Maw is not going to die from Anora, especially when Anora doesn't have ult. And then we have Double Dogs. Now, one thing, and I'm going to kind of just slow this down. Here's my personal gripe. I think that it is absolutely criminal that Beelzebub has the ability to basically inflict a perma-slow. Like, this is still a bug. And, like, he's basically inflicting a perma-slow. It's insane. Like, Maw is moving so slowly. He does not move this slow. Like, he just doesn't. And then we go ahead and we drop the dogs. Now, I stagger them just in case because I just don't trust how much damage an Aura can do, especially when she goes ahead and roots units. It can be a little bit tricky. But, yeah, we go ahead and we just kind of run through here. And we go ahead and secure the win. And then we have one final hit, one final attack here in a second. Let's go ahead and pull it up. And that's going to be the conclusion of our guild battle versus this guild. So let's go ahead and watch this final one here. So this last one is against a Praetus Ardea team. Now, whenever I see these teams, I kind of get a little bit happy because it really just comes down to a BP check in some ways as to who is stronger. Your Garnet Guards or the Praetus HP. So we go ahead and we insta-drop the Garnet Guards. And then we see Carnelian start to put orbs on Praetus. But because you insta-drop, you basically have the perfect timing to go ahead and essentially kill the Praetus. And what happens here is, there we go. Praetus goes down in the final hit. But honestly, he was just a really tanky Praetus. I'm pretty sure he had like full HP subs on everything because he survived long enough. And then also the Carnelian did go ahead and put an orb on him. So, I mean, being tanky pays off. It's just a BP check at the end of the day when it comes to those types of builds. The next thing we go ahead and do is we just go ahead and drop the healer and the flyer because from this point on, once Praetus is down, there's no more consistent high damage anti-air threat. And so we just go ahead and we just let the flyers do their thing, right? So they're going to just go ahead and run through here. It doesn't matter if Beelzebub goes ahead and clumps them up. They're just going to effortlessly just fly through the map. And this is what I mean, right? Beelzebub is just slowing them down. Like, why? It's insane. But we go ahead and secure the win from there on out. That's all there is to it.